Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight Season 14, Episode 15. Episode is titled Past Lives, Open Minds. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, thumbsing up the video, and hop into the comment section, y'all. Let's talk about Mark and Lindsey. So, the episode opens up as usual, like it has, I feel like, every week, with Lindsey in the camera complaining that Mark is saying that she is too much. We then see some footage of them, excuse me, and they are arguing on the couch where Mark is just saying that she's too much of this, she's too much of that, she's doing too much, yada yada yada. She feels that he should find a lesser woman because she is not going to lessen herself to appease him. So we see Dr. Pepper came over bright and early for them. Okay, she was their first visit. Dr. Pepper woke up with them on her mind. So Mark said that they have good times and then they have frustrating times. And it's hard for him to want to be affectionate after they've just been screaming at each other, which makes sense to everybody aside from apparently Lindsey. So he brings up how he called her hyper and how she got all worked up. He said he didn't know that that was a trigger for her. He said, how would he know? He doesn't know her to know all these different words that are a trigger, which is true. Dr. Pepper said hyper isn't a compliment. Listen, hyper is not exactly like he called her a bitch either. Hyper is I don't take a negative connotation to that. I just don't. And I feel like people that do take negative connotation to that, i.e. Lindsey, is because you know good and goddamn well you are hyper. That was nothing for you to get that bent out of shape about. But what's really bothering me is that we have yet to see any of these experts call out the stuff that Lindsey has done. Why don't we talk about the fact that Lindsey keeps saying that he has roaches? Why don't we talk about the fact that Lindsey keeps bringing up that his life is in chaos? Why don't we talk about the fact that Lindsey tells any and everybody who's listening that Mark is unemployed, that Mark did get evicted? Why don't we bring up the fact that Lindsey aired out all Mark's business in the bathroom at the bowling alley? Why don't we ever bring up how Lindsey says that she is done literally every 2 days with him? It is so annoying how the experts are trying to coddle her. Why should Mark give her everything she wants when she is treating him like that? To me, that just doesn't make sense. So, Mark said that his issue is she does not stop when he asks her to. He said that, he doesn't want to wake up to being bit in the neck and licked on the neck and all this other type of stuff. And when he asks her to stop, she does not. So then Lindsey was like, he's never said stop. It's always a joke. No, it's not a joke. I feel like whether I'm laughing or not, if I say stop, damn it, stop. That's what that means. And I feel like they are giving Lindsey way too many exemptions from that. So Dr. Pepper said they need to start asking each other questions. Lindsey said that he makes too many excuses for his behavior and nothing has ever been resolved. And she is not going to let him hurt her. You know why nothing is ever resolved, Lindsey? Because you like to bring up the same stuff over and over. So a lot of the stuff could be resolved if you would just actually apologize for some of the stuff that you have done. But see, Lindsey doesn't do that. Anytime they are tasked with asking Lindsey, why did you say this, that, and the other? Maybe if you didn't do this, she makes an excuse herself or she just completely goes past it. Her excuse cannot be Mark is not Mark is not all in with me. Mark is not giving his all to me. I just feel like it's annoying at this point. When is this season over? When is the season over, y'all? Because this is silly. So Dr. Pepper suggests asking Mark if he cares. Lindsey don't want to know the answer, girl, because we don't want to know the answer either, because it should be no. If I was Mark, I'd have said, I don't give a fuck. That's what I would say. Because you want me to not care, I'm going to show you what not caring looks like. So, Lindsey doesn't want to know the answer. Mark said he does care and he does not do anything to deliberately hurt her. I agree. Dr. Pepper agree. Lindsey does not agree with that. She kind of, you can tell that she's kind of looking like, I don't know if I agree with that. So Lindsey said that he should be putting her first based on his vows, but he likes to go straight to his social media instead of paying attention to her. And I feel like Lindsey, like, you want Mark to put you first, in front of all your vows, and because of your vows and because you're his wife and you want to be the center of attention at all times with him, no matter what happens, you should be first and foremost on Mark's radar. But it kind of like, is he ever first and foremost on yours? Like, what are you doing to actually put him first? Because it can't be the times where you're airing out his business. It can't be those times, and can't be the times where you are trying to belittle him and try to basically beat this man into submission. It can't be that, because Lindsey is trying to beat Mark down. Beat him down to the point where he needs her. Like I said in another recap, Lindsey needs a damn dog. Lindsey needs a dog who is going to she needs a dog who is going to need her for food, who's going to need her for shelter, who's going to need her for warmth. She needs somebody she can take care of. Mark is not that person because he's a grown man. So Lindsey says that I'm sorry, Dr. Pepper tells Lindsey to not be as to not be so forceful. And she tells Mark to give her more focus and attention. Lindsey says she wants somebody to lean into her and to be more dynamic. And she feels that he doesn't try enough new food. Lindsey, listen. You chose to come on the show. You got what you got. Mark is not that guy. Would it frustrate me that he looks like he orders chicken fingers and french fries at every restaurant they go to? It would get on my nerves as well. But that's who you got when you signed up for a show to get married to a complete and utter stranger. If you wanted to find a man that is super dynamic and as annoying as you are, then you should have went out and hung around a bar or went to a grocery store and found you somebody the old fashioned way. But it's odd how she is basically complaining about his whole ass personality, and Dr. Pepper and Dr. Cow and Pastor Cow have basically told Mark, change and be who she wants you to be. That's silly. Mark is not that guy. So Mark points out, I do try foods. Dr. Pepper pointed that out as well. He is trying new foods. We saw you damn near make that man stick his dirty pinky into some sauce you were eating because you wanted him to try it. So Dr. Pepper tells her to not be, tells her to, when he's trying to take the small doses that he's able to do. Mark wants her to stop demanding. He said he knows how to love. He knows how to touch her heart. He knows how to do all that, but he wants her to give him a chance to and stop trying to get him to do it on her terms. He said, just like with the food, give me, small bites. Don't stuff the whole damn random ass food that you're eating, because that's just not who he is. And I feel like they need to be telling Lindsey that she needs to accept Mark for the person that he is, the guy that he is, the personality that he has, because that's not going to change. He's not going to change his personality to fit you, and you shouldn't want him to. So then they take Mark's cat to the doctor. He has to put the cat down. I guess the cat has some sores on his eyes, sores on his back, and he's gonna eventually start to get into more pain. You can tell that the cat kind of knew something was wrong. He was, cats don't cuddle, and he was like really cuddling with him, and the cat just kept like hiding his face in the Mark's chest, and I'm like, this is sad. So then we have Lindsey, who takes Mark to the park in some wooded area for her down home hometown visit. And she wanted him to walk in some bush with her to talk. And he said, absolutely not. And I don't blame him. Why are we doing that? We can stay on the path. We can stay on the path. But she said she used to run away as a kid because there was no love in her house. Her dad was the epitome of a man that just felt like he was providing and that was enough. I'm putting food on the table, clothes on your back, probably buying you whatever you want. That's how he showed love. Her mother was a stay-at-home mom, but just wasn't properly suited to do that. And because of that, um, she got the burden of that. So I don't know if that meant that, her mother took out her frustrations on her, or Lindsey felt like she had to help raise her brother. Nonetheless, we know that she has a very volatile relationship with her mother. Then we have Mark, who takes Lindsey to his childhood home. One, Lindsey looked like she didn't want to be there. Lindsey is checked out of this marriage as well. Just, just FYI, she's checked out as well. And Mark is just describing the house and the landscaping. Yeah, it looks different. They paved. They paved. Yeah, this is different. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this, but it's paved now. And it's like, Mark, they put a new driveway in. Happens to the best of the houses. But Mark is describing the house very surface level. He keeps saying how, yeah, my dad used to sit outside and my mom would yell from the window, this is home. This is home. And Lindsey is like, how did it make you feel? So, like, on one hand, I can see Lindsey's point that Mark is just not very expressive or not, he's not a very emotional guy verbally. But it's also like, give him a moment. And I think Lindsey's biggest problem is she doesn't give Mark the time and the patience he needs to work through feelings. She wants him to work through everything right away. And when he doesn't, she picks and picks and picks and picks until he explodes, and then now it's a fight. So Mark is clearly overwhelmed, like, and she's like, so what about it? Like, what about this? And it's like, why can't you just stand there and be quiet, Lindsey? So then it turns into Mike wanting to buy the house. And she was like, I'm not going to compete with the past. And I feel you. We are not going to move into your childhood home unless it is passed down in your family. It's one thing if the house was passed down and you're living there now, I guess. But for you to turn around and want to go back and buy the house to live in there, absolutely not. And she said, I will live anywhere else, but I'm not going to live in that house, just like I wouldn't expect you to live in. I wouldn't expect you to live in one of my old houses either. I'll be glad when Mark and Lindsey are done. This is toxic. This is ridiculous. Lindsey needs to go get some help. Mark needs to go get some help. They are not ready for each other and they are not ready for marriage. Catch you guys in the next one.